So this week on Crazy Celebrity Madness, which I guess is a new segment, Kanye West is now claiming that he loves Jews because he watched 21 Jump Street, which is probably the greatest thing I've ever heard. I don't think anything could ever top that sentence. I wonder if he's watched 22 Jump Street, maybe when he sees that he'll change his mind again. Does Jonah Hill have magical powers that only seem to work on Nazis? And why 21 Jump Street specifically and not Superbad? These are the real hard-hitting questions. I don't know if this means that Kanye West is back on the meds again, or maybe he's even further down the rabbit hole trying to find an even crazier position. Here's a theory. Maybe this is a conscious effort to change his position without upsetting his newfound audience by coming up with an even crazier scheme that only would make sense to other crazy people. So that he can deny any of these ideas. I do think that this might be a little overly complicated. I just think he needs some help. It would be cool though to see a documentary explaining all of this in like a year's time, and Kanye is like, well, I was just sitting around one day and thought maybe I should understand more about this culture, so I put on 21 Jump Street and was like, wow, Jews are pretty funny. See, comedy fixes everything. It's too bad stoner comedy movies didn't exist in 1939. Maybe if they were smoking weed, not meth, that could have helped too. Anyway, do I think Kanye's been rehabilitated? No. Do I think that this is the only reasonable way he could be rehabilitated though? Maybe. Along with Kanye's craziness, we've got Elon Musk, who has made himself into a celebrity, so he counts. He's still destroying Twitter. Apparently the company is worth like half of what it was when he bought it, which makes sense since from what I can tell the site has gotten worse since he took over. And now if you have a verified account, so $7 down the drain, you can have tweets recommended to you. Isn't it great to have to pay for features that were already available not that long ago? Trying to make some of the money back maybe so he can look good to his shareholders, and it probably looks really bad to them right now, though he claimed that this isn't about money, which would make anyone think, well, what is it about then, because it doesn't help anyone on the site. Not that Elon ever really cared. I think he was just using it as a show of power to push his own agenda. It's not like he personally needs the money either. It's possible that he just did this so that he could step down at some point and remain in charge, but he still hasn't done that, and who knows when or if he will at this point. I think we can all admit at this point that he's really fucking dumb. Like, everything he touches turns to shit. He's quite possibly the dumbest billionaire on planet Earth. And then of course we have the Gwyneth Paltrow case, you know, the inventor of the vagina candle, who was being sued for crashing into someone while skiing. She was countersuing for $1, which has to be the minimum. Both her and the man suing her were claiming that the other party was uphill and crashed into them, so that they are at fault. It's a bit of an uphill battle. This case seemed to get crazier as it went, so I'll just go over the highlights to sum up the case, like Paltrow dressing up for the occasion. She looked like she was still skiing. Someone should have checked her feet to see if she still had the skis on. The guy got shamed for being short to prove that he isn't a large man, as Paltrow claimed that she was hit by a large man. This seemed to like the only evidence that they really had. The guy's lawyer was a fangirl of Gwyneth Paltrow, so it turned into the most awkward interview ever, asking her if she knew Taylor Swift or not and how close they were.
Are you good friends with Taylor Swift?
No.
Relevance? Overruled?
You're not good friends with Taylor Swift.
I would not say we're good friends. We are friendly. I've taken my kids to one of her concerts before, but we don't talk very often.
And Paltrow's lawyer tried to give treats, as he calls them, to the bailiff.
Private security for my client wanted to bring in treats for the bailiffs for how helpful they've been.
Which seemed very unprofessional and almost like a bribe. Plus there's this whole thing about King Kong where he explained that Paltrow ran screaming like King Kong. Maybe that should be her next movie role. One part of this that I don't understand and haven't really heard more about was that Paltrow claimed that the guy not only crashed into her, but she was also claiming that she believed he was trying to sexually assault her, which didn't make sense. Why would you crash into someone to rape them? And also, if he did crash into her, how would he do that? I don't understand. He would have been injured probably as well. So did he crash into her, or was he trying to sexually assault her? Because I don't know how you could really do both. And why didn't she have him charged? I don't know. But aside from that, the case just seemed like a huge meme fest for the internet's sweatiest. Not as much as the Johnny Depp trial though. It just seemed funny how crazy everyone was in this trial. But the craziest part about this is that it wasn't even about her site Goop, which sells the worst products and makes the boldest claims about them. It's a wonder that the company hasn't yet been put out of business, but it doesn't matter now anyway because she won her case and her $1. So there you go, celebrities are insane if you weren't already aware. Now get out of here.